It is. It's podcast day. We're excited. We're digging out there. What have we got? Ooh, yeah.
Dude, it's fucking podcast day.
Takes you back to that time of when you remember what you were doing when you first listened to that album, or
What is going on, you champions? That's right. Yes.
What up?
Podcast day. Two dudes talk music. Yes, and stew. I've been stewing on this shit all day.
What is going on?
Yes.
It's that time. It's that time. Podcast time. Yeah, spill the beans, man. Spill the beans. We want it. We want this. The exclusive details.
It's Thursday. It's podcast day.
Friday,
Tomorrow's
Junior.
Friday. I got a long weekend this weekend because it's fucking Eka up here next week.
Oh,
so
how
I
good's
got
that?
the Monday off from work.
And you got a new background?
And I got a nice new background. I've been putting this together now that I've got the new job that doesn't have work from home. I got this room I'm not doing nothing with. So I thought, you know what? Let's take this out of the studio, put it in here. I have a really nice space to work with in here. It looks lovely on the camera. I'm just seeing that's okay. It's still got some tweaks to go. Still got a few tweaks and changes and whatnot. But overall, I think it's coming together quite nicely. It's looking all right.
I'm looking
We
forward
got
to
some
seeing
mood lighting going on. Got all sorts of tat in the background, which is really cool.
Digging the
Yeah,
wrestling,
man.
the wrestling belt. Yeah, all the
Yeah,
figurines. I like it, man. I like it.
Yeah, man. How you doing? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I got out last weekend. I went to see this bloke here, Stuart Barton. He's
Mhm.
country music singer. My
Uh-huh.
wife likes country, and turns out I like country too.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Let's just like
Certain
for all you
countries, okay.
people that say you don't like country, Metallica's just country with distortion. Fight me.
Certain countries all right. Certain countries all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But that's all right. That's pretty exciting. We got some gigs coming up this weekend.
Yeah,
that
do
I
we?
want to talk about. We got a few.
Well, that's
All right.
while you're getting that ready, let me just do my ritualistic.
All right. Do your ritualistic. Hit it.
Yeah.
Ah. Did we get the crack on the? I don't know if the crack got picked up on the microphone. I
Doesn't
didn't hear
matter.
it.
I got another one to do another crack on. That's cool.
We got to hear the crack. We need the.
That's cool. I got one more.
All right, so let me just pull up this gig guide here.
Rattle
We're having
out
a
these
look
gigs.
what's going on. So, a few shows on Saturday I think we got coming up. So Saturday at King Lear's Throne we got Purple Zane, Burnt Trash, Black Noise Army, and Kuroshi. That is at King Lear's
Ooh.
Throne in the Valley. So that one's going to be pretty exciting. That's only $10.
What?
So no one be complaining
Is
about
that
the price on
$10
that
at
one.
the
That's only
door?
$10 at the door.
Whoa! There's no
$10
booking fee.
at
There's
the
no
door.
booking fee. Come
Can't
on.
complain about that. Cannot complain about that. What else is going on? So, at the Back Room in Brisbane, also on Saturday, we have Aces High, which is an Australian Iron Maiden tribute band.
Yeah, dude. The drummer's from Sydney, Zach. I know him. He used to. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. He's a bro,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
It's got to be a
they're
good show.
playing-
You're not going to want to miss that. They
They're
are
playing Back
stellar.
Room Brisbane. That's part of their Life After Death tour, which is covering Australia and Aotearoa, New Zealand.
Good on you, boys.
So
and
yeah,
girl.
excited for that one.
They
That
have a
one's,
female fronted.
They're $35 plus booking fee or 45 at the door. It's a little pricier, but well, Kyle's got the word, man. They're pretty
Yeah,
good.
man, they're
So
good. They're good.
you want to
There's
go
a
and check
reason
them
why.
out.
Yeah, they sell out. They do. They do.
And lastly, at Bad Luck, which is in the Valley, it's right next door to King Lear's Throne. You've got Come and Say That to Our Faces,
That's a band
which
name.
is what is it? A high octane, blah 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 blah, soaring vocal harmonies. Glitterous, I think, is a band. Glitterous, Violet, punk. Yeah, it looks like it's a punk rock and roll type show.
Oh, okay. So that's what the
Oh, there
festival's
you go.
called.
Masochist. Yeah. So,
Okay.
Glitterous. I think Come and Say That to Our Faces is the name of the tour, from what I can gather. Here,
Nice.
Glitterous, with supported by Masochist, Violet, and Eviction. Does it say anything about the prices? Let me see if I can find the prices on that one. What does Oztix have to say? Looks like they're selling tickets via Oztix, so I'm just waiting for that to load. That's about $23 for GA tickets on that.
Hey,
So
come on.
that's going to be pretty good as well. So
Really,
lots
that-
of gigs happening. If you're in Brisbane, if you want to, if you're in and around the city, there's some amazing stuff happening this weekend. But look, that's not why you guys are here. You
No,
guys are
it's
here
not at
for
all.
our guests. I hope you guys have brought your battle axes. I hope you guys have brought your swords.
Are you ready to
Got
go
your
into
fucking-
battle?
Got your horses fed up and ready to ride into glorious battle.
Going in with my elephant.
That's
My
your
battle
trusty
elephant.
steed. Love it, mate. All right, let's get to it. We have an absolutely incredible band with us today. These guys are doing just the most amazing fantasy-inspired metal music you're ever going to hear. Let's bring them on. We have Raven and Hargoth from Darklore. Brr, boom. How you guys doing?
Guys?
Great, thank you.
Yeah,
Happy-
g'day, good, thanks.
Thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and talk to us today. We really, really appreciate it. So yeah, you guys doing all right? You having a good week?
Yeah, work-life balance in general, coupled with some gaming in my free time, playing Diablo 4 at the moment. Wicked. And, picking up the guitar when I can.
How are you finding Diablo 4? How's the new season?
Yeah, well, there's a lot of criticisms around the game. Obviously, there is for most games that come out. I think Diablo 4 is targeted at the casual gaming base, the casual gamer, which I think most of us these days are. If you've only got a couple of hours a day or something, or less than that, yeah, it's the perfect game. Really, really having a lot of fun.
Nice. I kind of dived in at launch. I haven't played the new season since they went to Season of the Malignant, but I did dive into it at launch. I've played through it. I've quite enjoyed it. I've been a fan of the Diablo series since the first one. So
Exactly. There you go.
I've had a
Yeah,
look at
been-
it.
All about it.
a
I'm
long
not game
time
enough
coming.
to get it, but they do say the average age of a gamer now is 36. So
Yep. Yeah. Well,
Gotta
that
love
means
that
I've just,
statistic.
that means I've just started aging out. So,
Yeah, same here. Too old to play video games. What have I got left?
But no, that's good. I'm glad.
Never too
Yeah,
old.
it's like I've been enjoying it. Maybe I haven't. I've kind of jumped back to World of Warcraft, but I got to dip back in and play through on a couple of different characters, see how that changes the game experience. I think. But
Okay.
anyway, we're not here to discuss games. We're here to discuss music.
Guys,
So
I got
hey,
to
you guys
commend
have
you
got
on
an
that
amazing-
album, eh?
amazing thing going on. Amazing stuff. I love it.
It's Evil of Man. We always say here, or I always say here, the art of being able to write a good, meaty album. It's slowly dying. It is with these waterfall productions and stuff like that, and you guys managed to do a very, very good album. I'm very pleased. It's very well rounded, especially for a first album. Is this, guys, your first album, or is there anything else in like the banks that we don't know about from the past, or?
No. The Evil of Man, our first release, and geez, what is it? Is it 10 tracks on that album? I think 10 tracks, one instrumental.
Tis
Yeah, 10
Yeah,
tracks. Is what
10
Spotify's
tracks,
telling us.
one instrumental.
yeah, all of those songs on the album from day one, yeah, all of the songs we were working on at the time made it on that album. So yeah, and you know, I guess we've taken a lot of time to write all of those songs. You know, so when we went, there's a lot of work that goes into them, I suppose. So um, we don't have a lot of I guess what you would a lot of bands when yeah, I guess when you listen to an album, you know, a lot of bands will have like a few like really good songs that they pour their heart and soul into, but then especially when they're like signed to like a record label, you know, a lot of the songs tend to be what people consider like an album filler.
Hmm.
And I guess we've had such a long time with that first album to make every track as best as we possibly can. So it's good to see that some people out there in the world are appreciating it.
Yeah, well, you picked a very niche market. My wife's into it. You know, like my wife's into like the whole Viking and sort of like that epic metal sort of stuff. And now, but yeah, you've picked like you're picked a niche in a niche.
But I mean, you know, I mean, we kind of said let's you know move from video games onto music, but you guys do incorporate a lot of video game references, right? You know, a lot of fantasy video games. There's like a lot of references to that stuff woven through your music and a lot of the visuals that go along with it. Um, I got to ask though, because how long ago did you guys start doing what you're doing now?
Hargoth, do you want to answer
10,
this one?
10 years, I believe. Like, I was 17 when we started. I'm 27 now, so about 10 years ago, yeah.
Jeez,
Like,
man.
yeah, yeah. Like, you know, but things, I guess, with this first album took a little bit of time to come together, and you know, the whole writing process, and then you know, practicing and playing, and then getting it recorded, and
Hmm.
you know, all the setbacks that come with that, and eventually it, you know, just gets underway, and you know, here we are, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what? So obviously the album was written over quite an extended period of time. When it came to recording it, though, was it a relatively quick process because you guys have had that material for so long? Was it like very kind of drawn out? How did you guys approach that process?
The recording itself didn't really take too long. I think we sort of all did it in roughly, or maybe about a week and a half. Yeah, something like that.
Hmm.
Um, and then the mixing and mastering process was done by Monolith Studios. That sort of took a little while. Um, but I guess by see the timing of the whole album and everything was very unfortunate. We actually had our album ready to be launched probably a year before it actually did, and of course,
Wow.
as you guys know,
Yeah.
COVID hit
The
and
thing.
ruined
Oh
absolutely
no.
everything.
The thing.
Oh no.
Yeah,
The ongoing global bastard.
Mm. Hey, didn't
yeah.
you hear round two's coming?
Wow. What?
Oh no, we're not gonna. I'll talk to you about that later. We're not going to talk about that now. We're
All
talking about
right.
music.
Yeah, if I need to turn this back into a home office, man, you better fucking tell me now. I didn't spend 3 weeks converting it to this to just to have to change it back again.
No, they can
Um,
just look at your cool background now and appreciate.
yeah, best Zoom background ever.
Yeah, that's it. Don't think of it like that. Just think of it if you had your own corner office. What would you put in it? You'd put all that
Yeah,
stuff in
true.
it. You know what I mean?
True. That'd be it for sure. That'd be it for sure. So okay,
You were sitting on that
It
for
was-
a year,
fuck.
and then that obviously the shit happened.
That would have killed me. I wouldn't have been able to hang on to that for a year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have.
Was it
like,
a,
I would have been like, look, it sucks that we have to release it without a show, but fucking get it out.
see? This is why.
Yeah.
So, okay, so when I started Beer Buddy, like my other platform, this is the reason why I started it. It was because of that, and bands didn't have an opportunity to do stuff. So it was like try and give local bands an opportunity to do stuff. That was the concept at the time. Now it's grown into whatever it is now. But what was it after sitting on that for a year? How was the first release? Like, you would have had a lot of time to sit and think about promotion and stuff like that.
Yeah. Hargoth, did you want to take this one or?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so I guess, we initially planned it for like the beginning of 2020 or end of 2019, whatever. COVID, stopped that. Then we had to push it back 6 months. No one really knew, what was going to go on, and then got time for that. Then that, got cancelled again. And I think it may have like gone pushed back maybe one more time and cancelled again. But then we eventually got the show underway. We played it at the Bright Side. We had almost a sold out venue. I think we were like 8 door slots away from getting it sold out.
Wow.
And we were, it was an amazing, unforgettable experience. It's our first album. Me and Brennan haven't done albums before, and being the album launcher is pretty, just spectacular, playing the whole album, start to finish, with all the crowds and everything like that. It was, pretty unforgettable, I guess, pretty good.
It's the way to do an album launch. It's what you want. That's exactly what you want.
Absolutely. And I think there's something to be said for when an album works, start to finish like that, and you get the opportunity to play the whole album start to finish, in a live setting.
Yeah.
We see that with, I think, a lot of these legacy tours that are happening, where you'll have like, Metallica will play fucking, because it's been 40 years, 30 years since they launched Kill 'Em All, so they'll come out here and they'll play Kill 'Em All start to finish.
I saw the
Or,
Martyr. I saw the Martyr
Black
by
Album,
Carnival.
and they'll do the whole thing, and and they'll do like, bands are coming, or like Anders coming out and doing the whole of 8 Feet Kill Repeat,
Get
and getting
tickets!
to do that. Get your tickets to that, by the way.
Get your
Brisbane tickets are
tickets!
selling really fast. Over 2/3 of Brisbane tickets are gone. So if you want some, go get some. I think We the Hollow might have some cheap tickets available if you need them for that, by the way. So go get them. But yeah, so did you guys kind of do that for a while, just playing the whole album start to finish at live shows, or was that kind of like a one-time deal for the launch and you've scattered in all like other newer material, since then?
Okay. That album launch really showed us a lot. Our album, as it is, it's about a 72-minute album. So it's quite a fair bit bigger than your average album. And we were blown away by the response that we got, of course. The newer material that we're rolling out, that we are working on since then, is only just, all of the songs have only just gotten longer. Like they're becoming bigger, more sort of
More epic.
if you will.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. The only way is up.
They
You set a
were
standard, the
already
only way is
epic.
up. Yeah, I
They were
know.
already epic. Now they're legendary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You set a bar. The only way is up.
Exactly. It's like a orange drop
Yep.
in Warcraft.
Yep, orange
yeah.
drops.
That's it. Yeah. So we're I guess we are the kind of band, because our songs are so big, long. we're not the kind of band that can really do your 25-minute or 30-minute set, you know. But for us, that's 3 songs.
Yeah.
And,
It's a tool show.
yeah, and I mean, we're happy to do that for the right kind of gigs, like if it's an international support or, you know, you can't be greedy with that kind of thing, you know.
No, you take what you
But
get.
yeah, for shows like for our own shows, you know, we're always going to be aiming bigger, better, more grand than the previous show. So after that show, after our album launch show, we had to undergo some lineup changes. You know, so that put a bit of a spanner in the works in terms of our live performances. You know, so the last few years since our launch, you know, we've only been averaging 1 gig per year, and that's not necessarily a bad thing for say, especially given the length of our sets. You know, a length of a Darklore set is usually, I mean, it's turning out to be like, I don't know, equivalent to seeing 2 bands for say. You know,
So
in the local
you're looking in that hour set list sort of mark, sort of deal. Has there ever been the thought of just picking like maybe you just use 3 like absolute stompers and just over fucking selling it? Like, just an example, I went and saw a band. It was this Viking metal band. For the life of me, I'm not even going to try and remember their name, but I think they played like 4 songs in that thing, and they just oversold it. They put on one of the biggest and best shows. If I saw them again, I would know exactly who they are. For the life of me, I can't remember their name because I'm just shit with names. But has there ever been that thought? Just doing like the 25-minute set or the 30-minute set and just fucking exploding. Just picking 3 of your absolute most epic best songs and just going bonkers for 30 minutes and then just going, okay, 3 songs, we're done. But the show is what people come out to see.
Yeah, I think that's definitely on the table for future. It just depends on the kind of opportunities that might arise for us.
I mean,
I mean, plus,
to be
you
fair,
guys have-
sorry, go Raf.
I was just going to say, like, the other thing to factor in is you guys have a very intricate aesthetic to the show as well. There's lots of theatrical and visual elements to the show, to the presentation of the band, and that's a lot of effort for like half-hour set. You know,
Yeah.
like there's a lot that goes into getting, you know, into that side of it as well, which is, you know, I don't want to say be wasted on a half-hour set, but like
It's a lot of
that's
effort for
stuff
30
to do.
minutes.
It's a lot of stuff to do for 30
It
minutes
is.
set. You know,
I mean, to be fair, these guys came out in like leotards, Viking helmets. They had pyrotechnics on the stage. They had, you know, those like inflatable men with the arms and shit.
the flailing
Dude,
tube
they
man.
let one of them off in Frankie's Pizza.
What?
Do you know how tall the roof is in Frankie's Pizza in
It's
was?
not tall enough for one of those.
You know what it did? The thing went up 7 feet,
Up and
which
across?
and it just sat across the crowd and just sat there and just slapped people. It was the most epic shit I've ever seen in my life.
Oh, that's bizarre.
But you could get away with that. I don't like it was their last couple of shows. I don't think they gave a shit. Do you know what I mean? It was just like, what are you gonna do? Close us down? So I don't know if that could fly. Like I don't know, but could it? Because it's epic. The music's so epic. It's so out there, and I love it. Like it's just so in your face and raw, and I love all the piano
So-
parts that go along with it. It's just
Talking about a big theatrical show. Have you guys got anything special lined up for Hell Vegan Fest, which is coming up in less than a month? It's getting pretty close.
That good question, Raf.
Hargoth, do you want to take this one?
Yeah, sure. Well, like, you know, we always strive to put on a better performance than our last show. We like to make things bigger and grander. You know, with we've got something going on. I'm not gonna say it in case things
No, of
happen and it
course.
falls through. But we're definitely trying to make things a lot more theatrical because obviously we're a very theatrically driven band. A lot of the ideas that we do have, we can't really implement in most venues and stuff like that.
Understandable.
There's stage restrictions, and there's just kind of not big enough. Like we've got a lot of grand ideas. It's just unfortunately making that kind of happen is kind of the hard
Yeah,
bit about it.
I feel you. I
Um,
feel you.
I'm going to put this out
Yeah,
there. I'm going to put this out there to anyone watching, to anyone that watches this afterwards, that goes to Hellwagen Fest in Queensland, in Brisbane. I want a Viking row. I want the crowd to sit down, and I want them drums to be going, the kicks to
We
be
need-
going, and just row,
And we
and then
get a
you all
Viking
get
row
up and
in the
mosh,
back room.
get a row going. I want to
I
see
mean,
it.
look, I suppose if when you guys play so rarely, obviously you're gonna really want to try and bring every show to make it as special as possible. But I'm keen to see what you guys have got in store, because that lineup is pretty heavy, and like not just in terms of musically, but like it's almost going to be some genre whiplash with some of the transition there, because like going from Kid Crusher doing like new metal, like rap metal focused stuff, to like high fantasy, Dio and Rainbow, but made heavier type stuff is gonna be well, I mean there'll still be face paint, I guess. It's going,
You know what? There's going to be
from Juggalo face
variety.
paint to corpse to fantasy corpse paint,
Yeah.
which I think is gonna be pretty cool.
And Helheim Photographic, thank you so much. Can confirm we, the Hollow, have tickets. They
Yes,
can
We the
confirm.
Hollow definitely. Okay, there you go. So if you're still looking for cheap tickets to New Metal Mayhem in Brisbane or Toowoomba, We the Hollow are the people to
Get
hit up.
after it, seriously.
I believe Nuclear Vision has sold all of our allocation for Brisbane. We might have some left for Toowoomba, so if you need some of those, get in touch with Nuclear Vision or We the Hollow. But if you haven't got your tickets for Hellvegan Fest yet, go and get those too. Like, what are you waiting for?
When is it?
Shit's less than a
When
month
is it?
away. 2nd of September.
2nd of September. I wonder how
It's
much.
coming up.
I'm tossing up. I wonder if it'll be cheaper for me to drive up there.
Oh, you want to come?
Dude, I'm getting a bit jelly. I'm having a wee bit of FOMO.
You're having some FOMO.
I'm,
All right.
I'm fucking. I'm so scared I'm gonna miss out.
Let's run through this lineup again then. Let's try and make you really jealous. Try and make you really fucking jealous. So we're going to run through this lineup again. So
Because to be fair, Kid
got-
Crusher is enough for me, but just everything is like. I was listening.
And Brisbane's got the goods at the moment.
Oh, no.
So we got Marana's Curse, Flesh Torrent, Abysmal Fortress, Nuclear Vision, Death Plague, Slaves of Dissonance. I think there might have been one lineup change on this. I can't remember. Maybe you two can help me out with this one. Slaves of Dissonance, Fun with Explosives, Magnetron, Serpentum, Warrior Within, We the Hollow, Odious, and of course Darklore and Kid Crusher. If I can find where it is in the group chat about the show, I am certain that there was a lineup change. Okay, yes, Flesh Torrent has unfortunately had to pull out, but Head First is jumping on in their place. So there you go.
So one question I have to ask. I have to ask. So you're obviously all metalheads, yeah? Like you obviously like your distortions and stuff like that. What was the desire to pick this style of heavy metal? This epic Viking. I call it Viking metal just because I feel like a Viking when I'm listening to it. I feel like I should be on a big boat, sailing out to sea, about to go pillage a small village. I know it sounds bad. I'm sorry, but I'm a raider. I'm going to raid.
Yeah. I think for us, fantasy. We're a heavy metal band driven by the fantasy elements, and I think for the longest time, fantasy and heavy metal have always sort of been, I guess, parallel with each other.
Mhm.
Heavy metal, as you know, it's probably like the one genre of music out there where there are no boundaries.
Oh
you know.
yeah.
The kind of stuff that we sing about and stuff like it doesn't you don't really get much of that anywhere else. It is heavy metal, so I mean, there's been plenty of bands that do this. For myself, I'm a Iron Maiden fan. So some of their songs are sort of based on like myths, legends, that sort of thing. That probably perked my interest a little bit. But you know what? When I whacked this band together in the beginning, uh, it is literally filled with, and to this day as well, it's literally filled with a group of nerds. It's the stuff that we love. Through the love of our favorite movies, TV shows, cartoons, through the games we play.
Love it.
That's the stuff that makes it exciting for us, and that's what we put through our music.
See, I'm a massive anime nerd.
Yeah.
Massive. My friends don't get it. My wife definitely don't fucking get it. But I get it.
Well, we've got some songs about some animes and stuff like that. So
Yeah, what do you guys jam with?
gotta so like on our first album, Empire Fallen is actually based around the anime Code Geass.
Oh,
If
I
you've
haven't
seen that one.
No, I'm going to find it though. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, we've got another song that will eventually be on album 3. That one will be about Claymore, if you've seen that
I
anime
haven't
at
seen that
all.
one either. Oh, cool. Got some new anime
There's
to
some
watch.
deep cuts here, Kyle. Yeah,
Got
Kyle's
some
got
new
to up
anime
his
to watch.
game.
There's too many out there, you can't keep up with
Yeah,
them
that's
all.
the thing. It's like
Yeah.
Bollywood. Japanese anime is like Bollywood.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a lot of references and stuff there. What I want to know is what do you? But I'm going to ask one from each of you here. What do you think is the deepest, most obscure reference that's buried within any of your songs? Something that like you think that no one has gotten up what it's connected to, but you've made it, you've written it or created it with a specific connection in mind.
What's the Easter egg?
The deepest cut.
Hargoth, did you want to answer first, or?
Oh fuck. Uh, come back to me. This one's on you first, right?
If we're having trouble thinking of the deepest one, what's your favorite one? Let's go with that. What's your favorite one then?
I can answer the deepest one. I mean, we just basically spoke about it, really. Can't be Curse of Frostmourne because that one's obvious, right?
That's a little more obvious. That's a little more obvious. It is.
So, the Empire Has Fallen is written in a way where if you read the lyrics, you probably wouldn't know that it's about an anime, let alone Code Geass, because it's a little bit, and it makes that song a little bit different to the rest of our songs, because for the most part, all of our songs are about that the medieval fantasy style dragons and knights and everything, where Code Geass is nothing like that at all. It's more sort of set around mechas and that sort of thing.
Mhm.
So but you would not know that at all by reading the lyrics. There's a little bit like, if you've seen the anime and you read the lyrics, you'll be like, okay, that's what that is referencing, but you probably would never ever pick it.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we've
Awesome.
probably got a couple of songs like that there's lyrics, but unless you kind of know what it's about, like our song Wings of Fire, that one is about Deathwing and you know it doesn't mention Deathwing in it at all. So
We think you just
you
like
know,
you guys
if you're a nerd, you know,
you sit such
Yeah.
you guys sit such around pop culture, and I love it. Like
That's awesome.
It's
so good though.
good.
Like I've been, like like for me, especially like the Frostmourne and the Deathwing references and stuff. Like I was like I started playing World of Warcraft in 2007, right at Burning Crusade. My first full expansion that I experienced was Wrath of the Lich King.
The best
I was
one.
at the midnight launch. I've got the fucking special edition box sat right there that I got when it could, like, you know, um, I was there. Went home, installed it, fucking stayed up till the sun came up, and then some playing it, and the the story, like out of all the stories in World of Warcraft, the tragic story of Arthas Menethil is one of my favorite stories, like start to finish. That whole arc, even right up to how they've finished it off in maybe not all the elements of the Shadowlands expansion, but the way he kind of like the finality of that story in the end in the Shadowlands, and it's one of my favorite stories. So anything that's referencing like the Lich King or Frostmourne or any of that stuff is always going to be like, that's always going to pop me. I'm always going to love that. But it's really, really cool. Like, have you, given that you guys have references in that sort of stuff and of those things, have you guys considered or ever attempted to, submit stuff to, Blizzard, for example, to be like, oi, can we come and play BlizzCon? Like, can we come and do that? Like, we'll play all of our Warcraft related material, right? Like,
We're not
'cause
sure
that'd
if
be
they'd
crazy.
accept us or if we'd be hit with a lawsuit.
Ah,
yeah.
well, that's actually, yeah. Bobby Kotick's still in charge. You probably get hit with the law. So maybe don't ask till Bobby Kotick's gone.
Parody,
But,
surely.
Wait till Microsoft buy it. We'll get it. I'm an Xbox boy.
All right. Yeah, we'll see. All right. So you guys mentioned, we asked you guys about this before we started the stream, and you mentioned that you guys have got a lot of new material to show off soon. Is that something that people can expect to see at Helvegan Fest? If they're already familiar with what you guys bring to the table, people going to see a bit of new stuff at this show in September?
Hargon?
Yeah, definitely. I think about probably about half our set list is actually new material. Touching on a bunch of universes as well, because we're all fucking nerds. So, if you're keen to things, we've got like a song about The Witcher, another one about Lord of the Rings, of course. Got some new materials about Game of Thrones universe and some original lore and stuff as well in our new material. A couple of these songs we did play. In our last year, our November 19th gig. But a couple of these songs have never been played before. So this will be the first time people actually get to hear them live.
Very nice.
And like, as far as the new material goes, like, just my opinion, but it is way better than the stuff on the first album. Whether that's because I've played the stuff on the first album a million times by now, or if I just think it's better. I think it's way better as well. So
Well, I think as an artist, as a creative, like, we should always want that to be the case, right? We should always strive for to do better than we did last time. We should always, you're always going to want to be striving to be more creative, more interesting, and do better than what you've done before. And there's all sorts of factors that play into that, right? There's recency bias. There's but there's also balance with familiarity bias. There's the fact that you've had to listen to those recordings of the stuff that you've done a lot of times, and then you're like, okay, well, this is already kind of set, and maybe I could have done that differently there, or maybe I could have changed this, or we could have taken it a different direction here, or made that bit longer or shorter, or you've had way more time to overanalyze it. and we're all our own biggest critics. But I generally think that as performers and artists, like our goal should always be to make the new thing the best thing. Because not only is I believe genuinely I believe that is the most creatively fulfilling way to do it, but it is also the best for the fans. You know, you give the fans, and look, we've come back and forth over this on the podcast a few times, and you get some bands that once they're past a certain point, you know, no one really wants to hear new material from them. But I don't, you know, I don't think that, like that's you know, bands that have been huge and played like all over the world a million times, and they're kind of known for a small subset of their music. But for people doing it on this kind of level, I think there's much more creative satisfaction aspect to it. And you know, if we can always strive for our newest stuff to be our best stuff, and you know, we're not always going to hit that mark. You know, that's just a fact of life. But you know, I'm stoked that you guys are so high on the new material, and I'm really fucking keen to hear it. I'm keen to get to see, because I haven't seen you guys live before, so I'm excited for that.
I think with this new material, like we've really refined our sound, and we've really like found what the next step of Darklore really is going to be. It's much more grand scale and a lot more, you know, kind of darker and more melodic, and kind of all the real cool things about, you know, our first album. We really like honed in on those, and you know, made them, you know, way better. Of course, you know, with the influences from, you know, the new keyboarder and new drummer and stuff like that. They're just, both of them are just absolute fucking machines. Like,
Oh wow.
you know, we probably, you know, I don't think we could have possibly found people better to suit us as a band, and, you know, to suit us as, you know, creatives and shit like that. Like, I think like this next album, it's just gonna blow people out of the water. If they were a fan of the first one, they're gonna just be in fucking love with the second one.
Is this a new? So did you say keyboardist and drummer?
Yeah.
Yeah. So is this a new one from the first? These are new members from the first album.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Could I just say on that as well?
Yeah.
Our first album was very much recorded around, you know, obviously the lineup at the time. We were a 4-piece back then, and so I was the only guitarist. So most of those songs are based around just having, you know, one guitar. So the actually, it's a bit funny, but the day we were recording the album in the studio, I actually I brought in Luna, who is our second guitarist, and I started training her up. So we actually have 2 guitarists now, and that's probably another big factor with these new songs, is it's based around 2 guitars, hence, so, you know, there's a lot more sort of like, overlapping with the guitars, and then of course the with Shades on drums, his new drum style, and Ithel on keyboards, he's got a lot more of a very fantasy inspired sort of style as well. So it's quite incredible what we're working on at the moment.
It's awesome.
I love
I'd just
that.
like to
I love that.
apologise. I have an old photo that's next to your guys in your. I'm going to get rid of them now.
But that's good. I love when you've got a new look, because lineup changes can, you know, they don't always work out. It can be challenging to, you know, find a new fit when you've kind of got this idea in your head about what you're after. But I think I always love when a lineup change can bring that new energy.
That's the hardest thing to get.
When you've got, you know, a new member or a couple of new people that come in, and you're inspired all over again, and it drives everyone to be even better, and it pushes everyone to be more creative and more interesting and more unique in what they're doing. and that sort of stuff is snowballs, right? Like you start getting those creative juices going, and they just keep going. The more creative you are, the more creative you're going to become. Which is why, like, people get into a slump or into a writer's block, and they're so hard to get out of it, right? Because you like stop dead. You're not being creative, so it's hard to be creative when you're upset about not being creative. But when that ball's rolling, man, you're just constantly going to be coming up with new ideas all the time. That's great. I'm so happy to hear that.
It's awesome.
Have you guys considered? I mean, you mentioned before you got kind of some like original lore there. Have you guys considered? And I don't know. Maybe this is something you've done, and I just don't know, and I just don't know about it. But have you considered doing any, like, publishing any sort of like books or graphic novels, or coming up with like a story, like an
Even
original
Facebook video.
fantasy story to go with, the lore that you guys create for some of your stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. It's we've bounced around the idea, I think, Hargoth, with maybe one day bouncing out with like kind of a book or a short novel or something like that. The problem I have is with these original stories. You originally write them just for a song, so they're quite small. But then later on, you get inspired, whether it's through some of the artwork that you're getting for your album, or just some extra ideas that sort of come tumbling down. And then you're like, oh, this could be so much bigger and so much more grand. But then I got a bit of a George R.R. Martin kind of brain, I think, where it would take me years to, develop it to that kind of level. So I got to choose. At this stage, do I want to write a book, or do I want to work on Darklore and keep things simple?
I mean, but what if you went with like a shorter format, like a comic book, like, graphic novel
where
type
did
thing?
Raven come from? What was the belly of the beast that Raven and Hargoth came from, and the rest of the band? How did they all meet?
Yeah,
How did they all meet? What was the journey to this destination?
Do you want to answer this one, Hargoth?
Yeah, sure thing. So, in our lore, we kind of do all have origins and everything like that. It's pretty fleshed out. I guess for in the lore wise, how we all came together in the story, it goes to our songs, Raven's Return, where we're all kind of, at this fort and everything like that, and we die, and it leads on to this next part, which will be Raven's Return Part 2, which will be, at our gig, come and watch it. And it's this, where we all get kind of resurrected in the lore and everything like that, and we journey on and form our things and go on to complete epic quests in this, newly formed world that we're in and everything like that. So, without like getting really nerdy into the gritty ditty kind of shit, that's kind of a general overview of it.
Just full disclosure, I'm lit as fuck, but I want to see, like, get some like Dungeons and Dragons dice and get people in the crowd to roll them for a set list or a song. What's the next song? Roll a 20 and you get the next song.
Yeah, we
That's not a bad
definitely could
idea.
do something like that.
That'd be cool, man. That'd be good crowd involvement. You'd be like, okay, who's got the magic dice?
Just hope you don't get a one. Just hope
Otherwise,
you
you
don't
gotta
get a
go home.
fail.
Gotta get in the car and go home.
Critical fail after the first time. Gig's over. Go home.
That's it. Put the guitars down. We're out. Shit roll. Dude, you got so much room to do so much. Like, I would love to just sit there and just watch videos on how, even some theater. I don't know if you could do it like Raph sort of said, comics, or even a couple of YouTube, like Facebook or YouTube videos. It'd be You could do something
Yeah, like
special
some
with
short
it.
films, short films for
Yeah.
YouTube or something on the character, things like that. I'm sure there's so much you could do
Well-
with all that original lore, but
Because the
yeah, I
Well,
guess
people
you're
we
right.
had our own LARP group based around our lore
No
for a long
shit.
time called the Dark Lord. Yeah, the entire group dressed like us on stage. The whole black leather armor and the face paint and everything like that. We originally started at a LARP group called Warsong that it's now closed. It closed probably 4 years ago or something at this point, and then we moved up to another group that was called Adrosha and continued there, and that shut down because that's kind of the way LARPs go. Is they're kind of around for a while and they shut down. But the LARP group is it'll spring up again when the right opportunity presents itself. So if you ever wanted to run along in battle with the Dark Law dudes being a part of the Dark Law lore, and it's there for it because we're massive nerds and play D&D and do LARP, which is just the next step up from playing D&D.
Coin a new phrase. I'm going to coin a new phrase right now. I'm going to call it lamp. It's going to be a live action mosh pit. Yeah.
I like
There
it.
we go. There we go. Whole new meaning to Wall of Death.
So go and see Dark Lord. Get your lamp on.
Absolutely. This is gonna be good. I'm really keen for Hell Vegan Fest. Like honestly, talking to all the bands that we've had on, like Magnetron, Odious, Kid Crusher, obviously you guys now, and then we've got in the coming weeks we've got We the Hollow and Nuclear Vision. That's I'm gonna be not around for the Nuclear Vision one, but you understand.
You got that
But
mission there, don't you?
yeah, something
On a
like that.
mission.
Something like that. I'm gonna be off doing some work. But yeah, let's mate, Kyle, have you got the button ready?
I do. Oh,
Let's go to our first let's go to the segment. Let's go do the segment, I
Right,
think.
let me just hit pause
This
on
is
the musics, and we'll hit the first segment.
That you had you
Quick
could
question
you do,
quarter.
you could do so you
Let's go.
All right. So, this is the quick question quarter, spelt with Q's, not K's, because we don't roll like that. Never with K's.
No, and it's not quick either.
No, and it's rarely is it quick, but it's well, yeah. Unlike me, this segment is very rarely quick.
Yeah.
But
It's not the
we'll
two-part
roll
quarter.
along anyway. It's mate, two. I can't go twice. Anyway, let's go to this first question. So basically, there's a bunch of rapid fire questions. They start off really quick and they get a little bit more involved as we go further on. But this just allows both us and the audience to get to know our amazing guests a little better. I will just say very quickly before we go any further, I meant to say it at the top of the podcast. I kept looking for an opportunity to bring it up, but I can't find one, so I'm just going to jam it in here. Massive congratulations to Our Last Enemy and Crave, who have just been announced as supports for Avatar on their upcoming tour. That's going to be really cool. So much love to those guys. And if you're interested in going to see Avatar, make sure you get down there early so you can see Crave if you're going to Brisbane, or you can see Our Last Enemy if you're going to Sydney.
And
Anyway.
yeah, a bad show. Like, it's going to be a hectic show.
Yeah, moving right along. Let's get back to this one. So the quick question quarter. Gentlemen, what was your first instrument?
Guitar.
Yeah, probably guitar, and then when I was in like high school, I picked up a bass for the first time, and I'm just kind of like boom, boom, boom. I'm like, man, this shit's fucking rad as. This is my instrument now.
Yeah.
The convert.
Man, I was a guitar. Well, originally for me it was piano, then guitar, and then yeah, similar to in high school, year 12, I picked up a bass for the first time, and it was definitely started something. What was the first album that you ever purchased?
Holy crap.
This is the one that you were like, I want it. I'm getting it. not the Wiggles.
I think for me it was it was Behemoth. What's the album name? Apostasy or some shit like that. It's the grey one with the dude with a bunch of arms. I
That's
forget the fucking name
for,
of the album.
for a first album. That's pretty full on.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, well, like, Lord Raven here is my older brother, so he's, been listening to, metal for ages. So normally there's that, like, stepping stone thing that happens with people getting into heavier music where they start off on, like, the soft stuff
Makes
and
a lot more
progressively
sense.
get there. So by the time I could, actually buy an album, I was already at that deep end of,
Yep.
right into it.
Yeah.
So, I kind of bypassed that whole teenage years of listening to, those beginner band kind of things and just kind of straight into the more, I guess, heavier side of things. And it's kind of just, kept on that trajectory from there. But yeah, that Behemoth album would have been my first one.
I think for me, if we're talking heavy metal album, first heavy metal album, probably Best of the Beast from Iron Maiden. I think every other album I had prior to that was sort of like a downloaded version per se.
LimeWire.
Yeah, Napster, LimeWire, all that good
Yep.
shit.
You're our age.
Audio galaxy. Yeah.
Yeah, you gave your computer hepatitis just to listen to a Slipknot song.
Mum, I don't know. I don't know why the computer's
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why the computer's showing all these links to
I
websites
just
that are full of buttholes.
download the Slipknot album.
Yes. Slipknot.exe. What was your first live concert?
For me, it was Iron Maiden 2008, when they played at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre, and that was, just fucking amazing. Like, it was an all-ages show, so I could go at that time. I think I would have been, like, 12, 13, something like that, so...
You really busted your cherries properly on your albums and your shows. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, man, yeah.
I think for me it was I can't really remember if I saw anything in my early childhood, but like from my memories, Wasp was my first metal concert, I think. Yeah.
Nice. Very cool. I don't think we've had Wasp before.
No.
That's a new one.
That is definitely a very new one.
There you go. That's incredible. I like that. Always like when we get a new one.
Yeah.
I like when we get a new one.
You always know it. Like, it's weird
Yeah,
how
we
you just
tri-
like, yeah, we...
All right. What is an instrument you've always wanted to learn but haven't yet?
Oh, this is a hard one. Hey, I mean, I think every instrument is worthy. I mean, probably I'm just gonna say keyboard, right? Because I own one. I love it. I love the sounds it makes. I think it's incredible. And even when you're writing a song on guitar, per se, and you've got a bit of writer's block, sometimes just pulling out that keyboard and seeing the music arranged in a different way really frees up your brain. But other than just playing my own stuff on it, I don't really know how to play it. And so if I had a bit more free time, I would choose keyboard.
It's solid foundation.
No, I'm a fan of like I guess medieval instruments and stuff like that. So I've got like a mandolin and an oud, which is like the big fat fucking lute looking thing as well. I haven't had the chance to play that one yet because I brought it secondhand. It's had quite a bit of damage that I still need to just get the funds to get it fixed first. But I guess that thing would be, my choice because it's kind of like a guitar, but it's a bit different, has a bit of a unique sound to it and stuff like that. And
So it'd be like,
12 strings, that's a lot of strings.
you'd be like a bard.
Yeah, my current LARP I go to, I actually dress like a bard and run around playing a mandolin like a bard. So
That's
you know,
mad.
bard pills.
I love it.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. Always good to see. Always good to see. Okay. That's good though. That's good. I like that. You go. Well, I mean, if you learn it, if you can play it, you can put some shit into your recordings with
And
it,
not
right?
just
Like,
that,
you can
once
do some
again,
cool shit.
Oh yeah.
a fucking new one. We have not had
Yeah.
a medieval instrument yet.
Yeah, we haven't had any medieval instruments brought up there before, so that's pretty cool. Everyone always wants to go sci-fi and futuristic.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to learn theremin. It's
Yeah,
like,
we've
no,
had
no,
3
I want some-
theremins.
Yeah, 3 people have brought up theremin, but we want. I like that. I like the
Oh.
old school stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's an instrument that I wouldn't like to play, but specifically the
That's
medieval
fair.
ones is kind of what, you know, gets my jam. Like, you know, I'd love to learn how to do like hurdy-gurdies and fucking all
Have
that other
you-
stuff, you know?
Have you watched? I know. Have you watched much Rob Scallon stuff on YouTube?
No.
He makes like he's he's a very very talented guitarist, but he does a lot of these videos where he goes to and does a video with someone who like plays a guitar in a very unique style, or they have like it's a very different type of instrument. Like he's done things where he's like looked at the sitar and sort of other more traditional instruments from various cultures all over the world, and things but
cool.
all the way to things like the glass harmonica and all sorts of things. So it's if you check out some of his stuff, he's got some really cool videos on how like all these different historical instruments from around the world. He goes to like, I think he even goes to like the Guitar Museum, and they look back through to a lot of like the medieval origins of the guitar, and he touches on a lot of those ones and plays some of those too. So you probably find that quite interesting.
Go watch a video on a glass harmonica. My lord.
That's just wild.
You'll have to have some serious cash to own or play one. And I ain't playing nothing that I can't pay off in my lifetime.
Yeah, it's crazy shit. They're crazy. All right, here we go. I'll get this one from each of you. If you could pick one big band or artist to open a show for, now this is anyone living or dead, active or not, whatever period in their career that you could pick. If you could pick one big band or artist for Darklore to open a show for, who would it be?
Just think about that for a second, real quick, guys. To BCW Wrestling Stop Motion, what is this about? We are the two dudes that talk music. What we do here is we speak to local Australian bands, and we try to help promote their genuinely good music. We like to talk to local bands, pretty much.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we hope you enjoy the questions that we ask and the answers that they give, and the general banter that'll go on here. So BCW Stop Motion Wrestling, I'm sorry for getting that wrong. Thank you so much for stopping by, and we hope you enjoy the rest of the
Thank
show.
you. Yeah, feel free to tune in if you got questions for our guests.
Please ask.
Darklore, they they play like epic heavy metal fantasy type music that's
It
all
is
sort
so
of
cool.
video game inspired and everything. So fantasy inspired stuff. So yeah, once the stream's finished, go and check them out. I'm sure it'll be sure you'll find something in there that you like. And hey, BCW Wrestling, I'm a big wrestling fan.
He is.
So
You should see that wrestling
stick
belt
around,
in his
drop us a
background.
message. You should see out the Dark Order TNT Championship custom
Try
right
pointing
there.
it through my screen.
Yeah.
It's there.
It's all right because it's backwards. I'm like, if I go like, is that going to work or is it going to come out over there? I don't. Yeah, but yeah, no, that's the vibe. So yeah, if you could pick one big artist or band to open a show for, who would it be? It's tough, right?
Who wants to go
Um,
first?
Raven, you can go first on this one.
Whoop.
Okay. My answer. I mean, it's a no-brainer for me, and that would be Iron Maiden, of course. There you go. There's the shit.
Rep it.
Good choice.
They have inspired me like no other band could possibly do. I remember the first time listening to them back in the days of Audio Galaxy.
Audio. I forgot about Audio Galaxy. Fuck.
Yeah.
How could I
yeah.
forget about Audio Galaxy?
Going around downloading all the music as as you do. Their music, the songs that I chose to download at the time, Bruce Dickinson based, Revelations, Fear of the Dark. It was really the first time that I heard music where there was so much crowd interaction when you're listening to some of the live songs, and I just thought that is just magical. And the chord progressions and everything they do just gives it that real epic, uplifting kind of vibe. And there are probably millions of bands that are all incredible in their own way, of course, but they are the sole band that inspires me more above everything else.
That's awesome.
like
Did you
that.
catch the Iron Maidens when they toured recently?
I did not get a chance to catch those guys. I saw what were they called? I think we played with them, didn't we, Hargoth?
Live After Death.
Yeah. Those guys put on a
that
really
one.
good show. I was really impressed. They played, I think, Moonchild from memory, which is one of those gems that you don't hear often. So I was pretty happy.
Awesome. Yeah, I caught when the Iron Maidens toured not long ago, the missus and I went down to see them. That was a really, really incredible show. They nailed it. They had some amazing costume work going on too. So shout out to them. If you get the chance to see them, definitely go and do it. It's a great Iron Maiden tribute act. All right, Hargoth, what do you got? Who's your pick?
Oh well, there's a couple that come to mind. Like Darklore's main influences are obviously Iron Maiden and Immortal. So opening up for one of them would be amazing. For me, opening up for Immortal would be absolutely fucking sick because that's such a big part of where Darklore derives its sound from. But I'd also love to, open up for Ancient. Me personally, like when I'm writing shit, I guess I get a lot of influence from Ancient. So that'd be fucking sick to do. There's a lot of bands. Summoning, I'd love to fucking open up for Summoning. Not that I think they'll ever fucking come to Australia, but there's just there's a lot of bands to mention. But I guess if I'd have to pick one, since Brendan picked Iron Maiden, I'd pick Immortal just to make it fair, since they're kind of like the parents of Darklore, So
Hey,
Basically.
look, those are two solid picks, guys.
Yeah, man.
They absolutely are, like giants in of their respective styles. I can very much, and you're right. You know what you talk about that to say they are the parents, like that makes sense. That really makes sense thinking about it when you guys said that. Yeah, that absolutely goes there. So, moving on to maybe the other end of the band spectrum of the size of things. Who is a band or artist that you're listening to lately that you believe is underrated and deserves more attention? Feel free to pull up your Spotify playlists, or if you need to.
We're meant to ask this question at the beginning.
Yeah, we should tell you to have your Spotifys ready.
Oh, what Spotify?
Don't worry,
Or whatever you think.
We got a
is.
whole
What
other
do you-
segment. We got a whole other segment for that, man.
Don't get us started. We've done it too many times. We've gone to that well way too many times. But what are you? What are you guys listening to that is you think is underrated and more people should be paying attention to?
Oh, probably every metal band is underrated, right?
Agreed. Agreed. You know what? That I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I've recently started listening to. I mean, they're pretty big and they're pretty well established, but I still think there's a lot of people that probably don't really don't know them or don't give them the time of day, because they are very much like Darklore in terms of fantasy, and that is Rhapsody or Rhapsody of Fire. I think they're absolutely brilliant, and people should give them a Rhapsody of Fire.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're definitely. Where are they from?
Italy.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you also have a testy pop on that, Raf?
I can see that. No, I'm just like I'm looking at it, and it's yeah. You look at them, and you're like, yes, yes, that is an Italian fantasy metal band.
Yeah.
100%.
Send me the link.
Oh my man. Oh dude. Let me just.
Because I've got an Italian mate, and he loves Italian music. Like, I've got away with him a couple of times, and he always puts on the Italian music. I don't mind. I love music, so I'm just like, dude, you do you. Like, I'm just gonna chill. We'll sit and we'll enjoy it. I try and learn the words. I can't learn the words, but I'm very keen. I'll show
If
him
you like
this.
Italian bands, you should. If you like Italian bands, you should look up the band Domine. They're from Italy as well, another power metal band, and they're fucking amazing.
Yes. That is truly by nature.
Domine is underrated.
Is that gonna be your
like,
one?
Not enough
Is that
people
gonna
know
be
about
your
them.
one?
That's not going. I haven't been listening to them lately, so I do love Domine, but
I'm changing my response to Domine.
Okay,
Yes.
dominate.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right.
Domine, how are we spelling that?
I'm assuming Domani with a little thingy over the top, or a E.
No, it's a Domine, I believe.
Okay. What? Oh yeah, I think I see it there.
Yeah. So if Darklore
Is that one of the? Is that half of the same fucking band? Like,
Hey,
it looks like half the dudes are the same. What?
all
well,
Italians
yeah,
don't look the same, Raf.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay. Sorry. I shouldn't be that. I shouldn't be mean. I shouldn't say stuff like that. I'm sorry. But it's. Yeah. I mean, half of them look like they could be models, right? Like they. Just
Dude,
fucking...
Italians are very good-looking people. I don't want my
Yeah.
wife going around any Italian people. They'd be like
No,
Buppy the
mate.
Boopy, and then my wife's
Just-
gone.
Yeah.
Nah,
Beautiful
all right.
music too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we love it.
Check
I
them
mean,
out.
look,
They're good.
I'll be honest. Part of the reason we asked that question is because we're always on the lookout for new stuff, and we love hearing different people's
Oh.
thoughts and recommendations.
Yeah.
You know? But it
Well,
always,
You know what?
always-
Maybe
like
we should try and get one of
the-
those Italian metal bands on.
Man, that'd be great. That'd be alright. Just
the-
don't let your wife watch that episode.
No.
The bands that I've been listening to lately, I listen to like a lot of black metal, a lot of like DSBM and shit like that. So some of the bands I listen to, it's like they'll have like 200 subscribers and shit. So a lot of them are pretty underrated. Like one band I've been listening to lately, they're called Araxis. They released maybe 5 demos between 2009 and 2010 and then just disappeared off the face of the earth. As far as my research goes, all the music was made by this 15-year-old kid, and listening to his shit, I'm like, man, this dude's 15 and he's a better fucking musician than I'll ever be.
Is that,
I'm pretty sure the correct term you're looking for is asshole.
Is that like?
He's an
is
asshole.
that, like,
He's
Path
a
of
talented
Illusions?
asshole.
Is that all the German stuff?
No, the band name was Araxis.
Yeah. Araxas.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So they got a song called Path of Illusions.
Oh, yep, that's probably it. Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Yeah, they're pretty
Oh
fucking
well, yeah,
good.
that's pretty obscure, man. I'm looking at some of these numbers. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're
love it.
pretty good. Some of the other stuff I've been listening to a lot of Psychonaut 4 lately as well. They're fucking amazing. Yeah, they're underrated, I reckon. Shit, what else? I've been listening to... there's a band I love, they're called Sorry. Nobody fucking knows of them. Everyone, like, I've asked them, like, they got no clue. It's Sorry ... Another fucking DSBM band. They're amazing. I love them. Fucking shit. Been listening to a bit of Life Lover as well. They're more of the common DSBM bands, I guess.
For all the people that
yeah,
don't
there's-
know what DSBM
What?
is, mainly me. What is DSBM?
depressive, suicidal black metal.
Oh wow! So it's like emo but heavier.
It's just very extreme black metal. more or
Oh
less.
wow!
Yeah, it's very,
like I
I
took-
guess,
Yeah.
neat, refined.
It's like
So,
black metal, but with the
like-
lyrically is very specific.
Okay.
Yeah, lyrically and sound wise, it's pretty. It's one of the, I guess, branches off of traditional black metal. It's very kind of more refined.
Ooh.
There's another band I listen to quite a bit. They're called Silencer. They're amazing. One album after the dude made the album, he checked himself into a mental institution or some shit like that. As far as the legends go.
Wow.
Man, okay, let me
Yeah.
find some shit because I was talking with someone about it, and you might, if you haven't heard, I don't know if you've heard of it or not. You may not have heard of it, but you might be interested. Stalag
Oh, I
with
can't
two
say
G's and an H. No, okay, so they've basically got 3 albums, if you can call them that, and it essentially pushes like. It's very, like experimental to the point where you could barely even call it music. But one of their albums, according to the rumors and innuendo anyway, is the vocals is allegedly just like they went to an asylum and recorded mental patients screaming, and that's the vocals.
Yeah, that's
Like-
probably up my alleyway. That's probably something that's up my alleyway. I
I'll,
quite like vocals that are like that.
Let me send
Um,
you. I will share a link to the Darklore page.
Yeah,
for
you're gonna have to send me. You're gonna have to
Awesome.
send me that too, because
Like,
I
it's-
don't.
it
I
really
don't
is like
want to
you
be,
probably-
but I'm
you
so
probably-
interested.
I'll be honest. Calling it music is a bit of a stretch, but it is very much probably something you might be interested in listening to.
I'm
Um,
gonna do a reaction video on that on Beer Buddy.
That's cool. Be prepared. It will make you uncomfortable, Kyle. I can tell you right now. It will make you very
That's
uncomfortable.
cool. Like I'm cool with being uncomfortable, as long as we're in
Um,
a comfortable chair.
Awesome. All right, that's some good stuff. Like that's great. I'm gonna check out all those bands that you guys mentioned for sure.
love that shit.
I love that. All right. What I mean, it's kind of you wear your nerdiness on your sleeves there. But what is something people might be surprised to learn about you? Yeah, we're at the pointy end now.
That's a hard one.
We're at the pointy end now. See, I like slipping this one in because you never know.
So now we're gonna dig deep.
I mean, not like we're looking for a confession that you're a serial
Yeah.
killer or nothing, but
You
like,
should please not say that on here.
or we get an exclusive. I don't fucking
We got to go viral somehow.
drive the numbers.
Oh, that's so bad.
Raven, you want to answer first?
Let me just understand the question again. So it's something that people
Some-
would be surprised to learn about Darklore?
No, you as an
about
individual.
Darklore, or you as an individual or a musician. Just something that people will be surprised to learn about you guys, you or the band, one or the other.
Oh my god. What is there about me? Okay. Well, I mean, this isn't. I don't know. It's not really a surprise, I don't think, but I'm a socially anxious kind of person, but at the same time, I'm the front man for Darklore, so does that? But I've heard that's the case with a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, we get that one a lot. Like people. I think performing music for a lot of very introverted people is a way that they can get. They can explore that more extroverted part of themselves as well. They can get their, they kind of get their fill doing it that way.
Or you can be who you want to be on stage.
Yeah,
You
definitely.
can have that extroverted self, extroverted oneself. for that half hour, and then you can just go, nah, I'm out. Get fucked. Go away.
Yeah, that's just takes
Which
care
is
of that
fair,
for the next
man.
6 months.
No, that's it.
Yeah.
Until the next show. Go away.
Yeah. I think that's it. Like, yeah, I'm a bit of a socially anxious kind of guy, but I guess I don't feel that at metal shows and venues per se, because I guess that's my passion, and that's why everyone is there. We all have the same passion. Yeah, so that's probably it.
Well, I completely agree. Because when you go to a show, and this is what I love about going, like I can go to a show on my own, and automatically I have something in common with that person standing next to me. We're at the same show. We're there to see the same thing. We have that common ground. Everyone's on the same level. You're all there to see the same thing. So there's no angst about it. You have conversation to go on about it. Oh, did you go to this show? Did you go to that show? Like, you can nerd out. You can geek out. No, there is nothing better than watching a grown man geek out. I
Yep.
love it.
Great.
I agree. Like, yeah, the common ground is a
Yeah.
big thing. I think that helps, and nowadays especially, we know a lot more about like mental health and anxiety issues and social anxiety, things like that. So we're a lot more aware that and it's just that people that experience a lot of those issues are often drawn to alternative things like metal music. So there is, I think it's yeah, you're right. There's that common ground. There's that
Yeah, man.
knowing that a lot of the other people that are there are probably also quite socially anxious.
Not to say you should go to a show on your own, and rather than miss a show.
Yeah, don't be
Because
afraid
that's
to go to a show
and
for
that's the
yourself.
automatic thing, man. Because you've got common ground with everyone. Everyone's there to see the same show. You're gonna make friends. Go make some new friends. Go have some fun.
All right, Hargith, your turn.
Well, yeah, I don't know about fucking surprising people, because I don't really know what would surprise people, but, I'm a pretty massive nerd in all areas of my life. I've got two waifu body pillows. One is of a Dark Magician Girl from Yu-Gi-Oh! The other one is of Sylvanas Windrunner, because, she's my number one waifu.
Good choice. Good choice.
I've got a shitload
although
of fucking stuff.
can you forgive her for what she did?
Yeah, that didn't happen in my universe. So.
We forget about that.
But yeah, we forget about Blizzard just being like, hey, let's turn everything into shit. Yeah, so you tend to just ignore. Like I stopped playing WoW at that point, so it didn't happen yet.
Okay.
But yeah, like shit, I'm a pretty massive nerd. I've got like a whole room dedicated to D&D. Me and my mates play like every fucking weekend. We got like, I don't know, over $3,000 worth of miniatures to use for D&D and shit. Got, fuck ton of dice and all that other stuff. I'm a massive gamer. I don't know, man. I don't know what people find surprising, bro.
You got so much like built-in content.
Yeah,
for your,
dude, you
for your
guys should
social
start
media.
streaming. You
do
guys
like
should start streaming your fucking
Yeah.
D&D sessions.
DLD&D, Dark
Yeah,
Lord D&D.
I've,
You'll need to like make that shit a thing.
I've been wanting to do that, but yeah,
You do that shit on Twitch.
it's on the cards already.
I'm pretty
Nice.
sure. I'm pretty sure there's an actual D&D group on Twitch, and they only play like
Yeah,
once a
I'm sure
month,
there's-
and people go gangbusters for that shit.
Yeah, I'm sure you guys could set it up. It definitely seems doable. You
Yeah.
just
My
need to
suggestion
write
is
space.
that you sit there and watch what other people do, and just do that shit.
Yeah,
could be cool, though.
the
That'd be
Dark
great.
Lord D&D is already on the cards. It's just a
Nice.
matter of like getting everyone's time schedules in order.
Mm.
There's more pressing things at the moment, like getting this second album sorted. But
Well,
I'm
yeah.
sure at some point in the future you will see a Dark Lord D&D.
Well,
If
if there's a
not, I'm
Dark
sure
Lord
you'll
D&D
see
and I
me
can get
playing
involved
D&D or some
online,
shit,
I'm a level
like-
50 stoner.
Custom merch item.
Yeah.
Dark Lord dice set.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. That would be sick.
You're an
There you go.
ideas
You can have that one
Yeah.
for free.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys got so much room, like the pop, like, and that's the one thing I like. I love bands that involve pop culture, especially when they're so far out there. But it fits so well for the music that you do. Do you know what I mean? It's awesome. I love it.
Mm. Yeah, we've got so much that we can cover. We're never gonna run out of material or ideas
Yeah.
or lyrical themes, anything like that. It's just
No,
Absolutely.
not at all.
absolutely, insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
There's,
that's
there's a
awesome.
lot more universes we want to touch on with songs, and just a lot more stories from universes we've already touched on. It's just, like, limited amount of songs for the amount of fucking things we want to touch. So,
Yeah,
it's
no,
kind
that's
of
that's fair, but at least
you have to pick and choose.
you're never left wanting for inspiration. I guess
Yeah.
like, there's always stuff you guys can pull from, which is great. Like as you say, there's
Yeah.
you got your original stuff, and then there's like so many things you can tell. Even if you go on like and do a story about like this one character from a fantasy thing, and that's just one character in one fantasy thing, and one. There's so much you guys can.
Oh, dude, I
draw
want to
from,
see.
which is amazing.
Now that you
So,
talked about like D&D, I want to see a Dark Lord D&D with your characters, other D&D characters, and like,
Yeah, that we've kind of already got that kind of idea in the works already, man.
I will
There you
watch
go.
that shit
yeah,
religiously.
I
That'll
would
be
watch
my
that.
bedtime. That'll be my
That's
bedtime
awesome.
watch.
That'd be great.
Yeah,
All right.
you
So-
guys would lose your shit if you saw us D&Ding. Like it's just the funniest, most random. Just oh my god,
There
it's
you
just
go.
freaking crazy.
There you go. All right. Well, that needs to be the next after the album. I think that needs to be the next thing. All right. So, look, we know anime and fantasy stuff can get a little weird sometimes. All right. We all know this. What is the cringiest song name or lyric? We'll say song name or lyric that you guys have ever done or proposed or
You've been like, no, we got to
Whatever.
change that. That's not the song name anymore. We're fixing
you've been
it.
like we're big fucking nerds and that's cringy even to us.
Yeah.
You know.
The only thing I can think of off the top of my head, so one of the songs we're playing at our upcoming show, the song is called Servants of Sauron. Originally, the name for it was going to be Wraiths of Nazgul, but then somewhere down the line we kind of realized that that just means Wraiths of Wraiths. So we're like, oh, yeah, we should probably change that name then. That's
Okay.
the only thing I can think of, really.
Okay. Yep. No, that's pretty fair. I can see. Yeah. Yep.
Raven, you got anything for us?
I don't know. It is a very tough question. I guess I don't know. Writing lyrics sometimes is difficult. I think probably just from the first album. I think probably our opening track, "Forlorn the Light." It was the very first song, lyrical wise, I wrote for the band, and it's it's cool in the sense, like in my mind, it's cool what the story is, based on like vampire and everything like that. But I think if you just read it from a listening point of view, it is just kind of like a dark kind of a love story. It doesn't, it's not. It doesn't grasp the epicness, the epic backstory and everything that I have flowing in my mind. But at the end of the day, you can only do so much with a song. Hey, like it's hard to fit like a whole grand story into it. So that's probably the only thing that I could really think of. I mean, I'm sure there's probably been like 1,000 different things, but yeah.
Okay. Awesome. And look, we'll take it home with a wholesome one here for the quick question quarter to close it out. If you could give your younger selves one piece of musical related advice, what would it be?
Get professional lessons. You do that,
comes
you'll
up-
be able to do a lot more in the future.
That comes up a lot more than what you think.
Yeah, yeah. But at the same time, like I'm happy that I didn't go that route because I feel like you know, sometimes when people do that, they get a little too you know, militant in their style. It's like it becomes like someone else's style. Where I guess when I learnt, you know, I was just basically playing along to Iron Maiden songs back in the day. I never learnt scales or anything, so like, you know, soloing and stuff has never really been my cup of tea. But I've never really been one that I don't really like that kind of stuff when it comes to guitar either. You know, like it's all about the riffing, like writing that epic riff. For me, does so much more than you know, sweet picking and you know all the fancy stuff. So, but in saying that, get professional lessons because at least if you did one day want to do some cool stuff, at least you could.
It does open a lot of doors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, record the fucking riffs you write, because when you come back later, you have forgotten it. That's my advice for myself.
The amount of
You
ideas
will
I've
forget
had
it.
that I've not.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll remember that in the morning. You know, I don't remember it in the morning. It's fine. And then,
These days, as soon as I write a riff that I like, I set my fucking phone up. I'm normally filming myself sitting here in my jocks, and I play the fucking riff so I can see what I'm playing. Then I hit stop, because if I don't do that, I won't fucking remember what I write the next time I get on the guitar, you know?
Man.
So,
You know,
The
the only thing
forbidden
that
knuckle
reminds me
effect.
of is, do you ever remember the douchebag unicorn out of Family Guy?
Do I? I
He's,
don't think I do, man. I mean, I'm sure if I saw it, I would.
you
but-
would, you would if you saw it. Just go, yeah. He just goes through this whole spiel. It's like you should have a book next to your bed so you can write your thoughts down because you're not going to remember that shit in the morning. You should always, you know. And it's true, especially as a musician, you should always have something near you to record stuff, man. Especially now because
Yeah.
life
Douchebag
moves so
unicorn.
quick, man.
that's it. Like, I come home for my lunch breaks from work, because I live within fucking walking distance from work, so half the time I start jamming, and then I'll be like, oh man, this is so fucking sick. I'm gonna remember that when I get home. I get home and I'm like, oh, fuck, I don't.
Yeah, there's been
So-
a 4-hour gap in between that.
Yeah, so
Okay.
many good riffs just lost to time, because I don't
Yep.
fucking remember them.
And
Yeah.
I think that douchebag unicorn might have been out of the Seth MacFarlane Cavalier of Comedy.
Okay, yeah. Because I've found a picture of it. I'm like, I definitely don't remember that being in Family Guy.
If you haven't seen the Seth MacFarlane Cavalier of Comedy, go watch it. It's the funniest shit
Yeah.
you'll ever see. I'm actually going to watch that tonight.
I will definitely try and check that out. All right, get ready to hit the button, mate. We got to keep stuff moving. We got to get it along.
We do.
When you're
It
ready,
is time.
let's time to get in the bin.
Come on, if you want to fight.
Oh, come on then.
Fight, don't...
Get in the
Are
bin.
you enjoying the weather there, mate?
What?
Are you enjoying the weather there?
What are you talking about?
You know,
We
have
do.
the words pop up.
We do.
Like, get in the bin.
We It comes up on there. The get in the bin thing comes up. On
Yeah,
there.
no, I know,
It's
but we
just
need
got,
like,
it's just got a fat pommy guy in the bin, actually in the
Yeah.
bin.
yeah, I know. But we need to make it like an actual game show segment, like The Price is Right type fucking.
Oh, we do.
Shit.
We do.
Right. So for those of you who are watching that have not seen us before, that are not familiar with this segment, it used to be known by a different name, a slightly less YouTube friendly name. And I mean, you know, we tried to make a couple of things a little more YouTube friendly when we changed over here, but never you mind. So this is called Get in the Bin, where we talk to our very fun guests and we say, hey, if you suddenly had all of the Infinity Stones, like in the gauntlet that I got sitting up there on the thing, and could just snap your fingers and make something from the music industry disappear, what would it be and why? We've got two of you fine gentlemen, so we'll grab two from each of you.
Yeah, Hug, did you want me to go first, or?
Yeah, go for it, dude. I gotta think.
Yeah. Okay, so my number one thing to get rid of would be Spotify and every other streaming service that goes along with it. Look, I think it's cool that you have a platform where you can upload your music for people all around the world to listen to for, whatever. I don't care about that, but I just think every band in general is getting massively ripped off by it, and especially bands, or most bands that aren't the Iron Maidens of the industry or the Metallicas, or we only have to sell like one or two physical copies of our album, and that is going to do so much more for us than someone streaming our song.
A thousand times.
Exactly. Like, so
Yeah.
so people. I mean, I guess, I don't mind our stuff is up on Spotify. We put it up there because we don't care. We just want it available for people. But
Yeah.
if for fans, if you guys really do want to support not just Darklore, but all of your favorite bands, making some sort of a purchase from them is definitely the more beneficial way to go. Whether it's a physical copy or even a digital copy from like Bandcamp or something like that, it's going to help them out 10,000 times more than probably, at
Yeah.
least in the short term and the mid term, and probably almost, well and truly into the long term.
And look, the way I view it is, I'm like, look, yes, obviously Spotify is very convenient for people, right? So that's one side of it. And that's fine. Listen to the bands you like on Spotify. Listen to your bands that you want to support on Spotify. But yeah, I agree. Also go out and buy the album.
Yeah.
Also go out and buy the merch. Don't, yes, follows on Spotify are important. Yes, streams on Spotify are important. But
Doesn't
if
add
you
up,
really
though.
want to support, your favorite local bands and small bands, buy this shit and from them directly too, as directly as you can. If
Yeah.
you want to buy a digital copy and it's on Bandcamp, buy it on Bandcamp because they're going to get the most revenue out of that.
So like I said before, you had I had
We've talked at length about it on here,
dude,
so
and
we
this is
don't,
what
want to go in the we don't need to start the rant again from us.
you know what it is.
But
It's the thing of, and this is why I go on the thing of like whether you do see it as a Spotify, pick one or the other. It's like this. You see tailor-made rejects. I'm just going to use them as an example. Yeah, they have accumulated over 40 or 50,000 streams across their Spotify. They've made nothing. Could you imagine if they only did physical copies and they sold 40,000 CDs at $10 a piece?
yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even if they did it $5 a piece
Yeah,
or
but
$2
this is what
a
we've talked
piece.
about before. Like I said, we don't need to get too
Yeah,
into it, but we've
but
talked many times before about
we-
Spotify and streaming
look,
services and the devaluing of music
I-
in the consumer's mind.
As a person that doesn't have any skin in the game, I love Spotify. It's so convenient. It's convenient AF. But as far as a band perspective goes, no, it is not right. It is not fair. It is not cool.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we've talked ad nauseum about it on here, so you don't need to hear from us
We should
about it
just
again.
do
But no,
one-
I agree. Everything that you said is very, very valid there. 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Mate.
So, Raven, do you want to go your number 2, or Hagoth, do you want to do your first one?
It's up to you. How got do you want to do your first one? Or...
You can do your number 2 in case mine are the same as yours.
Yeah. Well, my number 2. I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me if you guys have gotten this response before, but I don't know. It could go either way. I guess it's a bit of an old school mentality, just like my dying hate for Spotify, but my undying hate. But I guess all this promoting your gig on social platforms like Facebook, Instagram. Again, I mean, I think it's cool and I think it's necessary. It's definitely necessary for what the world is today. But I just want things to go back to old school where, you would hang up a flyer in the local music store and people are attending your gigs because they've seen a flyer at the local music store, or it's word of mouth from people that have been to your show before, and they're like, guys, you got to go see Darklore, or go see whatever band it is.
Mm.
These days it's just like you can spend hours promoting on social platforms, and sometimes it makes a difference. It probably does most times, but I just wish things were old school, where you could just go to your local music store, you put up a flyer, and it actually means something, because it's just not that way anymore, and I just miss that, you know.
We actually had this exact same conversation last week.
Yeah.
I,
Yeah, we have had it before.
Yeah,
With a lot of people feel the same way.
Boots on the ground, man. It's that old school boots on the ground. I remember back when I was in a band and stuff like that. We used to go stand out the front of gigs and hand out flyers for the next night.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for the gig to empty out. Just hand them out. Hoping.
Yeah. And like, look, it's just one of those things, you know. I mean, I know that even back when, you know, in sort of the late 2000s, early 2010s, like that was flyers and posters were just losing their effectiveness with the rise of social media, you know. And it's and we tried it. Like, I was in bands and we tried it and we did it, and you know what, we'd spend like $50 to $100 on posters and flyers, and we'd spend a weekend going around dropping flyers at places, putting posters up at places, and it made zero difference, except that there was an extra $50 to $100 in the pockets of office works.
Yeah.
And you know, a lot less fuel in our fucking gas tanks.
Yep.
So ultimately, it was just one of those decisions where we had to like make the economical decision. And I know where people go, well, if you're not prepared to, like, I had this fucking argument so many times with people online. They're like, if you don't, you know, you have to be prepared to put all this money into it, and if you want to make it, you have to put the money and the effort in. And I'm like, mate, cool, yeah, I get where you're coming from, but I just don't have the money to put into it like that every time. And when the secret to success that these people want to talk about is have the money that you can throw away on this to until it starts making a difference. That's not a secret to success. That's money generating money.
That's loot boxes.
That's money generating money at that point, which is just not, you know, that's not the flyers doing the work. That's just having the money to throw at it to make it happen, right? But I you know, if we can make these changes, yeah, like that'd be awesome if that still worked. I would love it if that still worked, you know?
Yeah.
There's something about that. And I think that has also, the shift away from that has also led to a change in the way that, you know, gig posters are designed now. And a lot of time you don't see the same kind of interesting gig posters that you used to see. It's like album artwork going from a fucking vinyl, you know, huge vinyl cover to a fucking tiny little thing on, you know, on your phone screen. Like, album art doesn't matter the same way.
We went from a vinyl to a CD to a phone screen. We saw that progression happen. Then it went back to vinyl.
Well, yeah, mine was.
You're the backwards.
I'm gonna try them.
We should
All
never
right,
have
Hugger,
left.
what do you got?
Yeah, so for me, I guess there's probably quite a few things that really grind my gears. I guess probably number one on the list for me is, so I've been in the metal community like since I was 18. The first band I saw was, like, after being 18, was Enslaved, which was the day after I turned 18. And I've been going to, every single gig I can possibly manage to go to support the scene and everything like that. I can't really go to many these days because I just simply can't afford to go out because I'm, poverty maxing. But what really annoys me is there's bands where, I can't speak for the other states, but for Brisbane, everyone in the scene knows everyone, right? If you don't know a person, they know someone you know. You've seen everyone's faces, that's a thing. But there's bands that play and you've never seen them before in your life. Like, none of the members, They don't go to the locals, they don't support the scene. They are there for their band, and as soon as they play, they dip. That's something that just really grinds my gears, because it's like they're expecting people to come out